everyone, and welcome to Our Performance Tips. I am Joe Esty Jr. with Lucas OPT, and we appreciate you joining us. We are going to go through a few things on this On24 console if you are not familiar with it. I will show you a couple different pieces that you will see on the console. One sec. There we go. So on the right, you'll see a couple things. You'll see the media player, and we'll show some videos there. You'll see a speaker bio for Eryn Brooks, who we'll introduce in a second, and then a question submittal box. So at any point during this session, please put some questions out there, and we'll answer them towards the end. On the right, there is the sphere to our website, and you'll get a bunch of information there from training, classes, different things we do. You can also register for next week's Our Performance Tips. And we'll talk about that in just a second. And then below, you'll see a little bit more information. There'll be a training catalog and a couple more tidbits. There's also a navigation bar below as well, and that lets you share this event via social media. There's a chat function, the question function, and also all these squares that you see on this console are adjustable. So if you want to move them, if you want to make the video bigger, the presentation bigger, by all means, you can minimize and maximize as you see fit. So before we start in, I am going to introduce Eryn Brooks. This event is called How to Adapt Your Career Game. And Eryn, as soon as I'm done with the video introducing you, you can take it away.
Sounds good. All right. So hi, I'm Eryn Brooks. I'm with OPT at Lucas Engineering and Management Services. And today I'm just going to talk a little bit about how to up your career game. So what does that mean? As you saw the introduction video, today is kind of an uncertain time, and not to get too heavy on COVID, but there are a lot of things that have been kind of like a roller coaster ride of late, right? So if you're a person that has been in a situation with COVID that maybe you lost your job, or maybe you're a college graduate, or maybe you're even considering a career change, you may think right now, oh, this is like the worst time possible to make that change. But honestly, I think that today is really a prime opportunity because there are so many new doors that have opened for careers, where you work, the workplace, work environment, that I think really it's just a matter of kind of looking outside the box and seeing what opportunities are out there for your career. So today we're just going to highlight on some areas that I think might be helpful for you to kind of go down that new career path. And I always want to start with discovering your passion. So I have a quote here from Harriet Tubman, which I think is great. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world. So this goes back to what I was saying. Right now, I think it's a prime opportunity that you can change the world, whether that's your career world or where you are wanting to go with your future. I think now is the time to seize the day. And I always encourage people that when they're looking at a career change or they're looking at a career to start, to go with your passion, because I think that's so critical, and it's something that is so valuable with enjoying your position, enjoying your job, enjoying your profession. A lot of people have to work. We all have to usually have a job to pay for rent or groceries or clothing, but to have a job that you truly, really have a passion for, you work with people that you enjoy working with, it really makes such a difference in your life. And so I always encourage when you're beginning this path to really look at what's your passion. And certainly I would write down like things on a list that incorporate all those things that you really find are what drives you, what excites you, what makes you want to move forward. So like I said, what's your passion? Maybe it's a counselor. Maybe you're interested in journalism. Maybe you're interested in becoming a doctor. Maybe you're interested in becoming an artist or a tailor. Who knows? There's so many things out there nowadays that looking at what you've done in the past maybe it's just scratching the surface of really what you maybe want to do and where your passion is. So again, going back to this, I always encourage people to look at their passion before they start looking and mapping out their career path. Again, whether you're new to this or whether you're a seasoned pro and you're having to look for a new job, or you're looking for a new job because you're just kind of not really happy with where you're at. So we'll go to the next slide here, and we're going to kind of highlight these things here, these four highlights, these four features for career building blocks. So we'll look at your resume, and I'll give some key tips, and we'll have a video that we'll watch here about some good things to look at when you're building your resume. We'll look at LinkedIn, which is one of my favorite social media platforms, especially as a recruiter. But I use it for a lot of other needs like business networking, getting inside information about different subject matters. So really, I think LinkedIn is a great platform. So we'll talk about some things to do there. Professional opportunities. So we're going to look at some other things to consider in your professional career path. And getting that out of the box vision, which I kind of highlighted earlier, not necessarily looking with these blinders on all the time, looking outside of the box and seeing that there really might be some awesome opportunities out there that maybe you didn't consider before. So with that, we'll move on to your resume, and we have a video that we're going to queue up called Resume Killers, and it's some things that you should not do on your resume. So as you can see, these are just some simple tips. Some of them may be pretty obvious to you when you're doing your resume. Some of them may not. I see a lot of resumes come across my path, not only at Lucas Engineering, but I do some volunteer work outside with veterans groups and with college groups. And there's a lot of things that you'll see on resumes that you just think, gosh, that's so blatant that that should not be on there, or just small things like grammatical errors or just using the wrong tense for a job, certain small features. But these are things when a person is looking at many, many resumes and many, many applications for a position that could necessarily like get you kicked out of the running, because there's so many things that they're looking for, and so they're trying to look at the preciseness of a resume. So it's really a good idea to pay attention to these key ideas and make sure that you're really getting a good review of your resume before you're submitting it. And I also encourage to maybe have another set of eyes to look at your resume. That's always good, because sometimes when you're looking at something a lot that you've written, it's hard to see a different perspective, and having a fresh set of eyes sometimes will give you some insight as to things that you need to change, or maybe things that you need to correct, or maybe things that you just need to make more concise. So kind of with the whole theme here where I've had a game theme, and so, so in with that theme, I talk about your lineup. So are you a bench warmer? Are you someone that's kind of milquetoast that recruiters look at and they think, no big deal. What does this person bring to the table? Or are you a MVP, a most valuable player, that someone reads your resume and they think, this is exactly the person that we need for our group. This is the person that we are looking for. Let's hire this person, or let's bring this person in for an interview. So resume stars, resume tips that reflect the best you. So I kind of made this 6C strategy, which is in essence 6 easy, simple steps to always consider when you're putting your resume together. And they all start with a C. So cater, very crucial. When you're creating your resume, cater to the job that you are applying for. Make it very specific, concise. Keep it very to the point. So whatever information about the job that pertains to the job that you're applying for, your past work that you've done, keep it very concise and to the point. Current. Make sure your resume is always current. Don't let it lapse. Don't send something in that doesn't reflect anything that you've done, either professionally or volunteer-wise, or classes that you've taken. Always make sure that you keep your resume up to date. Even if you aren't actively seeking a job, it's always a good idea to keep your resume current. I know within Lucas, when we do proposals, we have to put resumes in those proposals. So it's always good to keep those resumes very current. Contacts. Make sure that your information and your contacts are all current. So contacts for you personally on a resume, I usually only recommend having your name, having your phone number, and including your LinkedIn profile. Your address and your other information is not necessarily needed because we're not going to go to your house physically to come and talk to you. So really that contact information, LinkedIn, phone number, your name need to be on there, and make sure that they're on there, because I have actually seen resumes come through to me that they don't even have that information. So I don't know how to contact someone if that isn't on there. Correct, make sure your information is correct, not only grammatically correct, but also what you are reporting is accurate and true. Don't embellish, don't lie about anything that you've done in your professional or your volunteer career. And cut it, keep it short. Now, I know working at the Hanford site, we are lovers of massively large resumes, but in the real world, especially when you're applying for a job, 2 pages, just 2, is all that you should really have when you are submitting a resume for a position. So keep it short, because again, recruiters are looking at lots of applications and lots of resumes. So you want to really keep it to the point, have it stand out, speak to the job that you're applying for, and make it be like, wow, this is someone that we really want to bring in and talk to. So next we're going to move into LinkedIn, which again, I reiterated earlier, that is one of my favorite social media platforms, especially when it comes to any sort of professional development, professional profile, and professional networking. And always on LinkedIn, as opposed to Facebook or Instagram, you really want to keep it a professional look and feel. You can have it catered to how your personality is, but by all means, you want to keep it professional. And you want to always make sure that, again, just like the resume, you're keeping things current, you're keeping things real, and you're keeping things something that is enticing for people to look more about you and about your professional career. I use LinkedIn a lot as another resource besides a resume to get some more inside information. So it's always discouraging for me when a person doesn't have a profile and or they have a profile that has very limited information on there or not even current information. So with that, we're going to go into your LinkedIn trading card, keeping with the game theme, and some branding things for you to do. So the first is the no-nos of photos, what not to do. And the second is, did I say that, what not to put on your profile? And gold stars, things that will make you successful on your LinkedIn platform. So the no-nos of photos, what not to display. And believe me, I see all types of things. But again, on LinkedIn, you want to keep a professional appearance. It's fine to have something that reflects who you are personally. If you look at my profile picture, it's not stoic. I'm not sitting there in a business suit. It has somewhat of a fun image, but not over the top crazy. I'm not at a party drinking like this young girl is. I'm not, which I am a mother, but I'm not a mom featuring my children. My picture isn't blurry. I don't have monkeys dressed up in suits. I'm not with my pet, which I do love my dog dearly, but he is not featured in my profile picture. I'm not an avatar of myself, nor am I at Comic-Con. So these are things that you want to make sure that your professional profile on LinkedIn, because a lot of people do use this platform, does reflect you professionally, but also does show somewhat of a personal side of you as well. Things that you should not say. Again, who are you? And did I say that? The home runs and fouls of posting on LinkedIn. So things to avoid: criticism of anyone, any organization, especially who you may be working for or maybe volunteering for, any group, etc. You should be very vanilla on any social media platform, but particularly on LinkedIn, because again, this is your personal reflection. This is your personal profile. Inappropriate or negative comments. If you have something that you don't agree with, it is best not to write that, because a lot of people are looking again at these platforms, particularly LinkedIn, and anything like that could really send off a negative note for a recruiter. You know, sometimes recruiters are looking for candidates, and they may not be candidates that are actively seeking a job, but by all means, they're looking for a candidate that fits a specific niche. So with that said, they're looking at their LinkedIn profile to kind of gain that information about that person. What have they done? What's their experience? What classes have they done? What certificates have they earned? What volunteer work have they done? And if you have anything about posting negative comments or inappropriate comments, it's something that a lot of people that are recruiting will automatically just not think that that is a good fit for their company or organization. Best, again, to stay vanilla and not have any political or religious opinions on your social media site, especially LinkedIn, because that is a professional platform. Using unprofessional images, emojis, or GIFs. I know a lot of people like to have different emojis, or different GIFs that they think are funny to use, which are fine in a text message to your friends. But on your professional platform like LinkedIn, not really appropriate. They may be socially accepted on a different level, but not on a professional level. Of course, never put any proprietary, business sensitive, or official use only information. You want to make sure that you are not disclosing any of that information because, one, it compromises your company, and two, it could certainly call for your at least being in deep trouble with your employer if you are disclosing that information, or a client could also be very miffed that you're disclosing that information. Private or personal information, there's no reason to share any great private or personal information about you, like you're single, or you just went on this date with this person, or you are getting a divorce. Those things are not something that you really want to disclose also on LinkedIn. This is a professional platform that people are utilizing to get more information about who you are professionally, or maybe what you can bring to the table professionally. Make sure you always look for spelling and grammatical errors. So again, going back to the resume, this is always a good platform too to get another set of eyes. Maybe someone else should look at your profile to make sure that you do have things that are not flagrant fouls for spelling errors, or it's not the right tense, or things like that. And don't embellish or provide any false information. Again, like I said with your resume, you always want to be very accurate. In this day and age, it's so easy and quick to verify that information. And if you're lying, that is not something you want to put first and forward especially in your career pathway. The minor leagues. So with this, we have another video that we're going to queue up. So I will turn this over real quick.
My goal is to revolutionize people's lives through art, technology, and entertainment.
Welcome to a window into the life of me.
Come inside my brand.
I'm a director of nursing / master bodybuilder /
Simultaneously soft and hard.
I used to be a successful city trader earning a high six-figure income.
Reuben Jones has distinguished himself on many levels.
Ray Fisher knows how to make an impression. He's worn black since he was 14 years old, assisted La Chapelle while living in Paris, and hates flowers.
What makes Darren Hill so special?
I rebuilt the homes of the survivors of an avalanche.
I run towards fires.
I'm not a boss.
Perhaps that's why I'm so good at it.
This video.
There's only one boss, and his name is Mr. Customer.
And the reason why I'm stopping this video, which it is hilarious, is it's a little lengthy, and I know I want to be considerate of everybody's time today during their lunch break. But it is a great video because, in essence, these actors are reading what people have put on their LinkedIn profiles. And they're really, truly pretty hilarious when you read them out loud. And it really makes you kind of second guess what you're putting in there. So this presentation should be provided after today. And by all means, I would check out the video because it is a pretty good laugh. So these are some things to do to shine on your LinkedIn profile. Display a professional profile photo or one that's appropriate but tactful of who you are. Prepare an eye-catching headline. Develop a concise summary. List your star skills under your career history. Be catchy. I always like to put quotes. Every once in a while I'll change it up and I'll put something that may be related to what's going on in the news or trending, or kind of, if it's like International Women's Week like this week, put a quote that pertains to that. Never lie, as I said. Stay current. Always update your information. Highlight your amazing features because you're selling you, right? This is your career path. Post or share relevant information and helpful information. Again, this is a great networking platform to share things that you are really good. And that's a good thing for recruiters, again, to see that you have some knowledge in a specific field. Maybe it's a human resources field. Maybe it's marketing. Maybe it's engineering. But this is a great way for you to share your experience. Post or share relevant or helpful information, Remain active, again. Connect and network, again, great platform to reach out for people to connect to advance your professional career or get some assistance, mentoring, coaching, get some insight information on LinkedIn. Get endorsements. Have people endorse your skills, your best skills. Are you a good public speaker? Are you good at writing, technical writing? This is a great area that you can get people that have worked with you before or volunteered with you before to get those endorsements. And take skills tests and display those badges. LinkedIn always has things that you can do in your field that you can display those, which are great. That's, again, another kudos for you and what you can do. The draft, the professional opportunities. So this is another great quote. These are some things that I'm trying to tell you that you can kind of look at to kind of see a path that you can go down for your career. Again, the opportunities are limitless right now, While some wait for the doors of opportunity to open, some kick the doors down. And that's what I'm hoping today. You'll want to kick some of those doors down. So tips, network. Like I said, LinkedIn is a great social platform, but if you have events that you can go to in the future, another great platform to network. Volunteer, another great way to get some inside information about how to build your career, get some experience. Internships, if you've just graduated from college or you're in college, a great way to get some field experience. Find a mentor, reach out on LinkedIn, ask people, can you mentor me on this subject? It's something that I'm interested in and I would like some more information on how you do this. Job shadow, again, maybe work with people within your own company or people that you volunteer with and ask if you can shadow what they do to get some more inside experience. Join associations that are affiliated with your scope of work, what you do professionally. Another great resource. Subscribe to publications and blogs. Read industry books and post on social media. Get more education if you can. Certificates, continuing education like college, certificates, online platforms, which I listed a couple areas that I do like Coursera, FutureLearn, and Skillshare. And then there's free online events sponsored by organizations and companies. Again, other ways to get some inside experience on how to advance your professional career. Think outside the box. Again, you don't have to go down this path that you've always been doing. There's so many opportunities out there. So I say, put on a new pair of goggles, right? Why not? Revisit your passion. What makes you excited? What drives you? Consider gig employment, which is what they now call contract employment. Go out there and see what things you might like to do and just do it on a temporary basis. Find your career, your direction. Do some career counseling, personal coach, or read publications. And I gave a couple there that are good, some good ones. Talk to friends and associates. What do they think your strengths are? What do they think that you're, really maybe not exposing yourself that you don't see that you might be really good at? Create a position. Why not, right? People can work virtually now. Volunteer or chair a community or serve on a board. Research companies or jobs of interest. Maybe there's companies that you would like to work for. So go look at those and points of contact to see about maybe getting a job there. Look into apprenticeships. That's the new trend now, right now. Not everybody has to go to college, right? There's great career opportunities out there that can be very lucrative for you that are as an electrician or a plumber, and you can do apprenticeships to get into those career fields. Be your biggest champion. Sell yourself. Highlight your awards, accomplishments, projects, community work, publications, anything that you've done. Sell yourself. Change your scenery. If you're kind of thinking that I can't do this anymore, change it up, mix it up. Create a blog. Write about some experience you've had, maybe professionally, maybe volunteer, maybe something personally that ties into a professional career, and grow your community. Use LinkedIn and other social media platforms to connect with organizations, nonprofits, interest groups, professional associations, and businesses. So questions. I know we have just a small minute here, but I will take any questions that we may have.
So yeah, Eryn, and thank you very much for that. That was great information. One question did come in and said, are there any additional resources other than what was in the presentation for any resume help or job help online? So just off the top of your head, are there any websites that people can go look at?
LinkedIn, which I sound like I'm working for LinkedIn. Actually, if you do any Word resume, a lot of times it will refer over to LinkedIn, as LinkedIn will have templates that you can use for good resume builders. So that is one that I always use. If there are opportunities, like I do things with WorkSource of Washington that they do resume workshops, if you have an opportunity that you can attend a session like that, which are always free, certainly I would attend those. And there are people that are professional recruiters or in the HR field that can help you with your resume. And I'm more than happy to, if you would like to send a resume to me, to have me review your resume to see what things that could be polished up or added or whatnot.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Sure.
And great answer on the question. And yeah, like Eryn said in this, we will send out the presentation after this. We will send it to you, and you'll have those tips and resources in there for you. To conclude this, some of the upcoming events next week, we'll have another Our Performance Tips on Wednesday. It'll be called Red and Blue Teams, and it'll be hosted by me, Joe Esty Jr. And then the following week will be a Friday For You Fridays event, which is a 60-minute long session. And that'll be with some expert leaders that are going to talk about organizational leadership after crisis. And so you can find those on our website. You'll see the notifications to register on Facebook. You'll see it on LinkedIn. And don't forget also to go out. We have these videos, these webinars, recorded and put out on YouTube as well, on our Lucas OPT YouTube channel. So thank you very much for attending, and we will send out that information after this. But otherwise, have a great day.